folks, we are going to dive right into the data science class. Welcome. This is Module 1, and I'm going to just give you a brief overview today. You'll notice that we are in R already, and in fact, all of these slides are built in R. So let's dive in. There we go. To data science for psychologists. Hello World is kind of the classic coding test, and it seems only apt that I open with that. So what is data science? Data science, is it, well, a database plus science? Is it a database plus coding? Is it a database plus people plus coding? Or some other combination? Well, data science is an exciting discipline that allows you to turn raw data into understanding, insight, and knowledge. We're going to learn how to do this in a tiny way. More on that later, though. So what is this course? This course, as I've already mentioned, is an introduction to data science designed for psychologists. It emphasizes statistical thinking and best practices, and it assumes no background in data science. Is this a computer science course? No. Although statistics and computer science aren't the same as data science, they are very closely related and have tremendous overlap. This course is a great way to get comfortable with those topics. However, this course is not your typical course. But we'll get there soon. Will we be doing computing? Yes. Will we be coding in R? Yes. Why aren't we coding in Python? Or it's Java? Or even something more like, what? We'll cut this. Well, happy to chat about the merits of different programming languages over coffee. But this class is taught in R. So where is this course? Well, you can find this course at the Data Science for Psychologists GitHub website, which I believe I will be going to in a moment. But actually, yes. No, we are literally going there now. Let us go on a journey. This course is ever-changing and is always in active development. To navigate this course, you can see on the side here, the menu, you can kind of click on the module you would like to see, and it will open. And you will see both the embedded slides, as well as any embedded tutorials, as well as this video. And within this website, we will be, well, learning how to data science. So before we get into it, I want to show you some cool data visualizations. So this is a visualization of children named Beyonce, born in each state between 1995 and 2015. This is, you can do this. This is fully within your power. Here is another example looking at punctuation in literature. It doesn't seem to differ by book, except for Ulysses, that the comma is the most popular piece of punctuation, for the most part. Period comes in close second. But this is also how we can look at data. We can also analyze Twitter and scrape data from that. In theory, you can scrape his Twitter data. But as we can see here, there's a big difference in how tweets that come from an Android phone versus an iPhone differ. So you can see that Trump's only writing from his from an Android, while his campaign staffers seem to be using iPhones. Here's another illustration of scraping Twitter, where you can see down here, you can do it all on Twitter, and I will let you appreciate this art on your own time. We can also look at economic and political data. Okay, now I'm going to show you some actual data we can play with. Give it a second. Yeah. Here we go. Let's change this to... Okay, let's look at our main United Arab Emirates and United Kingdom. Yeah, so this is literally using a Shiny app, but it illustrates some of the power of R. These are just some of the cool things you can do in R. Now, this is going to be a first in-class activity, but I want to make sure all the lectures are recorded. So the first thing we are going to do in this class is create a GitHub account. Now, if you already have one, awesome. I have one. My lab has theirs as a group account. And in general, some really good tips are to incorporate your actual name from a branding perspective. Reuse usernames from other contexts like Twitter, Slack. The idea is to pick something so people can connect all your disparate things together, because GitHub is a place to showcase a portfolio and some cool code. So you want to pick a username that you're comfortable revealing to your future boss. So maybe not a Tutti Frutti 69. Pick something professional so that you don't have to deal with it. I will show you mine. Cool. So while my lab has a GitHub here, I have a GitHub profile, which is super creatively named S. Mason Garrison. Same as my Twitter handle, my website, you name it, even my Wikipedia page. And it's just a way to keep all the stuff together, as well as kind of highlight some cool skills. I use it for a lot of stuff. For example, all of my syllabi are here. I have a spell check macro that catches a lot of my errors. My CV is here. Some Crusader Kings mods. These are all the things that aren't affiliated with my lab for the most part, so they're weird stuff. But that's the idea. While the R lab is just got lots of people. Yep. So yeah. So pick a username. Make it timeless. Don't link it to your job, because you may want to leave your job. You'll also want to avoid words that are laden with specific computer programming meaning. So avoid NA, null, things like that. Now, unfortunately, some people actually have last names like NA and null, or a drop table. Okay, not that last one. But you really want to avoid database pieces as much as possible. If you have a name that has some programming language aspects to it, please let me know. I'm happy to help you come up with a variant that won't ruin databases. So yeah, that's my basic pro tips. Now, I got this kind of basic tip list from Happy Git with R by Jenny Bryan. Now, it's a fantastic resource. A lot of her work is incorporated into the course notes. I've done my best to give credits. Like the framework for this class comes from Data Science in a Box. So now it's your turn. So on GitHub, you can download either the assignment 1A, which allows you to make your own modifications to the UN votes that we just saw. So you can first follow the directions here and work through it. There's an appendix to figure that all out. Now, you just press that little knit button at the top, and voila, your first data visualization. Now, that's option 1. So you can also check out assignment 1B, COVID. And in that one, you just grab the file entitled COVID, open it up, make sure you've got it in its own project on R, and press knit. So go back in, play around with it. Voila, your first data visualization. So that's wrapping up data in the wild. So I'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.